Hey, it's Mike from BlindsOnline.com. I'd like to show you guys how to install your new white faux wood blind. Once you've taken it out of the package and removed all the necessary packing components, you'll see that you have your blind, and this particular blind only comes in white. Oh yes, we call it coconut, but as you can see, it's just a plain old white. And what I'd like you to do once you have the blind unpacked is just set it aside for a few minutes and locate your mounting hardware. Your mounting hardware looks something like this. And if you'll notice, I opened each of the doors on each of the brackets. These are universal, where they can be used for either an inside mount or outside mount. However, there is a left side and right side bracket. The left side bracket has the opening on the right, and the right side bracket has the opening on the left. Okay, so let me show you first how to install this blind if you had ordered it as an outside mount. If you ordered the blind as an outside mount, there are one of two ways. The first way would be to mount the bracket directly onto the window trim, just like so. And what I'd like you to do is just use 2 screws per bracket, but drill a hole out on the top and on the bottom so that when you put the screw in, you don't split and crack the molding. If you choose to mount the blinds up above the window frame, like so, we're going to do the same thing, but make sure that you order the spacer block to go behind the bracket. What that'll do is push the bracket out far enough away from the wall so that when the blind goes up and down, it doesn't interfere with the window molding. Now I will show you how to install this blind. What we're going to do is we're going to install it as an inside mount, meaning it's going to get mounted inside the window frame. Okay, so grab one bracket first, and if you have a screw gun handy, that would be great. It always helps move things along. If you don't, you can always put the screws in by hand. It'll just take a few minutes longer. Make sure the door is open on the bracket, just like so, and have the door facing outward toward the room, and the back of the bracket we'll put all the way into the window frame like so. Now this window frame is about 3.5 inches deep, so you can gauge based on the depth of your window just how deep you'd like to set your blind, and of course it all depends on how deep the window frame is. But I'd like to put one screw up into the top, and I'd like to put another screw in the side, just like that. Okay, so we have our first bracket in place. We're going to do the exact same thing for the second bracket. We'll mount that straight up into the... One goes up. We'll put one into the side. And then once your brackets are in place, I'd like you to grab hold of that blind one more time. Okay. The blind is now ready for installation, but before we put it into the brackets, I'd like you to do one thing. I'd like you to install the valance clips, because it's a little tricky to put these on if you forget to do it after you've put the blind into the bracket. This particular clip is for the decorative valance. You'll see that 2 sets of clips came along with your valance. One says standard, one says decorative. You're going to use the decorative clips because we do provide you with the decorative valance, and we want to place those clips in the headrail in such a way so that it doesn't interfere with any of the moving parts. You can see there's sort of a gap here and here, so that should do the trick. Once those valance clips are installed, you can take the whole blind up to the window and place it right into the brackets. Okay, little doors are open in the brackets. We're going to fit that right in there. Gosh, that fits in there just right. And we want to even it out before we close the doors up. Make sure we have an even amount of space on each side. So you can easily shift the blind back and forth till it looks even. And then we're going to close the door on each bracket. And you'll hear it click once the door is completely closed. Okay, there is a little tab that locks these doors closed so that when you're pulling the blind up and down, it doesn't fall out of the brackets. All right, so once you have your blind installed into the brackets, you can lower the blind by grabbing both tassels on the right and releasing the blind by moving it toward the inside of the window frame. Okay, just like so. The left controls are your tilt controls. That's going to operate your opening and closing of the louvers. Okay. Once they have the blind completely installed in the window frame, you'll see that we've included 2 end caps. These end caps just give the bottom rail a finished look. If you decide, you can put these on. It's not a necessity. We do usually recommend them if you're going to use the hold down brackets, because they have a little hole punched in the middle, and the hold down brackets are designed to hold your blind in place if you're mounting it to a door or something to that effect. But these just simply push right on. Okay, and again, they're optional, but just in case you're wondering why they're in the box, this is why, just to give the ends a more finished look. Okay, now that we have the end caps on, we can grab the valance that we've provided. This is the decorative valance that comes along with the blind, and you'll notice that the back of the valance has a slot, and we're going to fit the two pointy parts of the valance clip into that slot, and that's how the valance gets mounted. So we'll come up to the window and just get under there if you could, and just try and squeeze those pieces into the slot. Okay, I know it's hard for you to see from there, but I just took the two pieces and pushed them into the slot on each side, and guess what? Your valance is installed. Now, that is the finished product. If you have any additional questions on how to install your 2-inch white faux wood blind, my name is Mike. Feel free to call me anytime, and thanks for watching.